We don't know, but we were, but we were talking about it on the way up. And was it the second one, Rog?
Yeah, the second one here on site, I think. Maybe
Yeah.
the second or third one here on site, and there was only one stage, and we flew in a light aircraft, but also we flew out on a light aircraft in the pouring rain with flares, and there was mist and stuff like that. It was all a bit scary. We came with Mike McClellan, I believe, and it was very interesting. It was, and we went, wow, that's Gympie, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
But like every year, of course, it was balmy. Like even in the dead of night,
Balmy.
it was like, I don't know, it must have been almost 2 degrees.
Yes,
No, but we've done a lot,
we've done heaps.
and it's a very excuse you. No, we're far too young to have done 40. Oh, quite a few. Yes,
of the 40.
just the recent ones. Yes, yes. But it's a special one. It's different to all others. Yeah.
I think it's driving in, and when you drive in and you see all those caravans, and people are parking there's heaps more people caravanning this year, and I think seeing all the punters and just that whole camping thing is really strong, and it's probably the biggest camping festival around, I would think, that we do in terms of country anyway, and it's pretty special, and you walk in there and you can feel the kind of, it's got a certain energy, I think, Gympie, and I think it's just always like, wow, okay, this is amazing. And you get on, on those stages and there's all those people and all that
And
stuff,
usually you get to arrive at the festival and you go to the, artist world. You go to artist world and you don't see any of that. You're there, you get your stuff together, you go out on stage and you play. But as Rod said here, you actually, in order to get to artist world, you've got to come through the whole thing. And the campers are right in the midst of it all, rather than over in a paddock over there somewhere.
Lining the road like a...
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've already built their castles out of Bundaberg cans and whatever.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's just very different. And, and on those odd years when it rains, that amphitheatre hill is the perfect slide. And there have been some marvellous, almost Olympic standard tobogganing happening on the back of cardboard cartons ripped up and stuff. It's
I think we've been here in every kind of weather event. Like we've been here when the rivers have been flooded and everyone had to come in on four-wheel drives. And I think we've been here when it's been hot and dusty and everything gets covered in dust that you own. And we've been here when it's been freezing cold and
not often
warm. And it's just been, you just never know what it's like. And I think that goes for everybody, all the campers. And I think it's part of the fun, really. And you can say, remember that year when was blah, blah, blah. So
And
it's good.
artists genuinely love coming here. I mean, they really do. And it's a hangout festival. And there aren't... So I guess the Port Fairy Folk Festival in Victoria for the folk end of the world is the same equivalent but, you've been to Tamworth a few times, and that's completely different. Like, there's no hanging out, you're just passing each other ships in the night. And here, you get to hang
you
out,
get to see everybody
backstage, in artist world, and you get to catch up with people.
And there's some special performances here. I remember a year when Casey was here, and there was, at the height of her recent success, Pretty Enough and all that, and 50,000 people on the hill just spellbound. You could hear a pin drop, and I was here when Trisha Yearwood sang that year, and you go to the Grove. I don't know if the Grove still exists, but I've seen some amazing gigs in there, where it was just special, and people were listening, and little gigs and big gigs, and everyone sort of steps up when they come here to play, so it's great. 40th anniversary. Yes, we're going to set Dobe on fire halfway through the show, which will be great, and along with his lagerphone, and we'll have a ceremonial
A Viking farewell.
farewell to go with your hand.
Look. No, I mean, most people talk about going out with your boots on, but a bit of self-immolation, I think that might think about the post-mortem record sales, Rog.
No, we are featuring a lot because it's our 52nd year of operation, of course, and we're just continually writing and creating new music, and so we're going to feature quite a bit of new music this festival, and we'll just be celebrating the 40th year like that, so it'll be good.
New music and same old stuff. And well, it's like we like to think of it as a classic recipe. Like
bit of new stuff, bit of
here's a stew, but let's put a new ingredient
Let's put a turnip in there.
A turnip. Right. That sort of thing. Anyway.
That's right.
Sorry. Dribbling on. Madness. No, joyous madness, I would say. I mean, look, I think people, well, we've just had an experience. Our young fiddle player, Gabby, has never been here before, so she just got to drive through the camping area, and then as we were coming round to Artist World, she got a glimpse of the amphitheatre, the hill, and went, oh, hill. That's not what she said, but that's the cleaned
That's a
up
big
version.
hill, she said.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
But so I just don't think anybody who hasn't been here quite knows what to expect. So if you haven't been here, I reckon you should. I reckon you should give it a go because it's quite special.
Well, obviously it's a music festival and being country music festival, obviously, but there's lots of different sorts of music. So I think one of the things is you kind of get the Gympie you look for, and you can go to the blues tent, you can see some, you can go to a talent quest, you can see the main stage, you can come and see some of the other stages. There's heaps of stages, which is really interesting, and they're all quite close together, and it's a bit like, as Dove said, a bit like that Port Fairy thing where there's quite a lot of stages, and you really get to go, wow, I never knew country music was like this. If I'd known it was like this, I would have definitely come more, and we're always meeting new Bushwackers supporters, but new country music supporters who go, wow, I've really found my part of country music that I really love, and I think coming to somewhere like Gympie is a great way to be able to do that and find the music that you resonate with. This is called Digging for Gold, and when Dove and I got inducted got inducted into the Roll of Renown in 2021, which was an enormous surprise and a huge honour and all of those things. Dove came up to me a couple of days later and said, Rog, I think we should write a song about that, because we've been coming to Tamworth all these years and we've been, nudge, nudge, digging for gold, like golden guitars and that. I went, oh, yeah, okay, radio. One of Dobe's wacky ideas. But then I woke up in the middle of the night and I had a few lines written in there, and so it wasn't long before I fleshed out a song. We worked with Gabby and Liam on a whole thing, and Dobe's contributed to some stuff to it. And so this is actually a song all about, somebody who was going to a little gold rush town in the 1880s, but also starting out going to Tamworth in the 1980s. And as we did in 1981, and we won a gold guitar the first day we were there, and 29 years later we won another one. So we've won one more since then. But it hasn't been a gold rush, exactly.
No. It's like a metaphor,
A metaphor.
Yeah.
Metaphor for our career.
Yeah.
And everything in the song relates in our minds to something that happens in Tamworth, so,
But
it's incredibly clever,
Yeah. But like everybody in the music industry, we're all looking for gold. I mean, whether you're talking about golden guitars or gold records or whatever.
Gold in love, Dave.
Yeah, gold in love, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
We better sing the song.
It's whatever you want it to mean. This is Digging for Gold.
We came out here in 81, seeking the lode under the blazing sun, digging in the river to make it pay. Found a nugget on the second day, in a little home with the air to stay. And we worked in the gravel till our fingers bled. Tea and damper and a stringy bark bed.
Digging for gold, digging for gold.
And we just knew they dozed and we saw it through. The winter cold turned our fingers blue. Digging for gold. The river runs fast, the river runs wild. Thousands came to make their pile. Only a few went the extra mile. The river runs deep, the river runs cold. Once we're young, but now we're old. Carve our name on a rock, I'm told. When you're digging for gold. Now the diggers came, the diggers went.
Digging for gold, digging for gold.
A community grew on that river bend.
Digging for gold, digging for gold.
Empires built, children came. We worked hard, we made our name. Down through the years we made our name. Digging for gold. The river runs dust, the river runs wild. Thousands came to make their pile. Only a few went the extra mile. The river runs deep, the river runs cold. We once were young, but now we're old. Carve our name on a rock, I'm told. Digging for gold. There's treasure there, but it's buried deep. And the golden dream still haunts my sleep. So sift the alluvial till you die. Fire in the belly from deep inside. Nothing's gained if nothing's tried. When you're digging for gold. The river runs fast, the river runs wild. Thousands came to make their pile. Only a few went the extra mile. The river runs deep, the river runs cold. We once were young, but now we're old. Carve our name on a rock, I'm told, like the old pioneers who went digging for gold. Digging for gold, digging for gold. Digging for gold, digging for gold. Digging for gold.